Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am going to crack open my reading album. This was kind of an album that I really didn't get very far through last year. I sort of started putting other things other than reading in there, and I've decided to kind of switch it back up. So it's going to become just a reading album. These are the pages that I did actually manage to get done in 2022. I've got a few more to go. I think there's 4 books left from 2022. I've got a few in here from 2023. I'm just going to use the exact same album, the exact same dividers. I'm just going to try and work my way through it. And I decided that I would start with trying to finish off these 2022 books while I still have a vague memory of reading them. So I printed out a bunch of stuff from the Bookish and Book Smart kits from Nelly and Clem. I printed out a bunch of kind of papers at traveler's notebook size. I printed a bunch of the kind of die cuts, and then I printed some 3x4 cards from both of the kits. And then I went and had a little bit of a play in Photoshop and made some 3x4 cards of my own. So I'm just going to really quickly give you a brief overview of how I did that. I started with a blank 3x4 canvas in Photoshop, and then I just used some of the die cut PNGs, pulled them in, resized them, and created a few little cards that I was going to print as 3x4s, and just played around, and it was fun. I spent maybe 30 minutes playing with these and came up with a bunch of different cards to print out. So every time I've pulled in the PNGs, I'm just doing that directly out of Finder. I use an Apple computer, so I just drag my PNGs straight in and I resize them. They should come in with a transform tool around the edge of them. So I just go ahead and straight out transform them to how I want them to be. And then as I'm finishing, I'm grouping all of those PNGs into a separate layer, turning off the visibility and just starting again. So I'm literally building all of my 3x4 cards in the one canvas. Then I can save that as a Photoshop file, and I've got all of those different 3x4 cards available to print as and when I need them. So I didn't print all of the ones that I made. I think I made about 10 different cards today, and then I just picked out, I think I printed about four of them in the end. Just, I don't want to go too crazy printing out stuff that I might not get a chance to actually use. So you can see some of the older kits from Nelly and Clem don't have the individual PNG files, so they're all set as PDFs. I've just brought the PDFs into Photoshop and I'm copying and pasting those elements that I want back into my 3x4 canvas. So it's a really simple process. It just takes a little bit of time. I've sped it up here obviously so you don't have to watch 30 minutes of it. But using all of those pre-designed elements just means that it's so quick to put your own 3x4 cards together. And you could definitely use this process to create traveler's notebook pages or any other sort of format that you want to use if you're doing 4x6s or 6x8 pages. It's the exact same process, and it's just a really good way to kind of stretch the elements out of a digital kit. You don't have to use them just as they are delivered to you. You can create to your heart's content with them as well. So as far as the actual page goes, I'm going to keep it pretty simple because I've got a bit of catch up to do, and if you know me, you know I don't like saying that I'm behind in an album or that I'm going to do catch up. That's not really my thing, but I do want to get all of the books done that I did read in 2022, so I've got 4 pages to do. I need to do it a little bit quicker. So I'm going to start off with, I already had these page protectors in my album. I've kind of I haven't really planned the layouts, but I have kind of planned where the page protectors and what type of page protectors that I'm going to use in my Life Crafted album. So for this particular book, which is The House in the Cerulean Sea, I had a 2 3x4 page protector on the left and a full-size traveler's notebook page protector on the right. So I'm going to create a really big filler page with the traveler's notebook size page. I just took one of the papers that I had printed out at traveler's notebook size. I don't print them as full A4 sheets if I'm only going to trim them down. That way I can print two different like pattern papers on one A4 sheet when I'm printing, rather than having leftovers that I don't use. Now I printed out this little girl with the book. It's as close as I can get to it representing me. I certainly don't have blonde yellow hair anymore. It's definitely more on the grey side, but it's the closest representation of me. So I printed her out and then stuck her directly onto the paper, and then I added 3 of the little like heart speech bubble things. I tried to stick away from the yellow color, so I'm picking out like blues and pinks in the cards and the embellishments that I'm using. So I've got some tiny little puffy heart stickers. I'm sorry, I have no idea what brand they are. They came in Happy Mail once without brand packaging, so I have no idea where they're from. If you know, please let me know, because I would love to try and get some more. They are the cutest, tiniest little hearts, but I've picked out just the 2 pinks and the blue. So really the only yellow that's going to be on this page is the girl's hair, and there's a little bit of yellow in the book cover. So they do kind of all work together nicely. Now the card that I've done my journaling on is one of the ones that I created in Photoshop. The only other thing I'm going to add to it is one of the tiny little word strips. I did trim the end of that off into a little fishtail, and then I bumped it up with a bit of foam tape just to give it a little bit of dimension. They're pretty flat, they're in page protectors, but just a little bit of dimension. And then I added a couple of the little puffy hearts onto the pink journaling card that my book photo is on. That's it, all done. I told you I'm going to keep it simple. I've got 4 pages to do, so if they all take me under 20 minutes like this one did, I will be happy. If you want to grab either of these kits or any of the gorgeous kits from Nelly and Clem, I will leave the link to the store in the description box. Hey, thanks for watching today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, I'm going to leave a couple of videos on screen for you. Otherwise, I'll see you again really soon. Bye!